Hello, lovely people who enjoy lovely things. My name is Rach, and does anyone else have a ridiculously intimidating video game backlog? Nowadays, we're picking up new games at an exponential rate, buying 2 or 3 more before we've even finished the one that we're on. We start to look for ways to cut down on playtime, a way to help make that infinite battle against the dreaded monster backlog just that little bit easier to conquer. And one of those ways is through fast traveling. Obviously, fast traveling often has a negative effect on the gaming experience. It can be quite disorientating to be suddenly uprooted and instantly dumped in a completely different environment, but when done well, truly immersive fast travel can maintain world immersion while simultaneously cutting down the extra playtime that you could be spending on your next big obsession. So join me as we look at video games that offered both convenience and entertainment in the 10 most unique fast travel methods we didn't see coming. Number 10. Flying Pokémon. In the world of Pokémon, every time you travel through an area, you can discover something new. Some Pokémon only appear at night, some are super rare, some items that were once hidden might suddenly catch your eye. That being said, wading through that enormous patch of grass for the millionth time to be stopped by hordes of Pidgeys far too low level to even be worth battling does start to feel repetitive, even in a game defined by its repetition. Luckily, around halfway through the campaign, generally, you'll learn the move Fly. In the original Pokemon games, it was a HM, or hidden machine, that had to be taught to a Pokemon as one of their 4 moves. In Pokemon Let's Go, your partner Pokemon is able to utilize a tiny airship, and you can take to the skies without needing to sacrifice a move slot. Flying around the world of Pokemon on the backs of your teammates is glorious, especially in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where you can control your Mega Latios or Latias and land in whichever city that you liked. It was also incredibly immersive, provided you ignore the fact that it works with a Duo. Number 9. Riding the Subway, Marvel's Spider-Man. For a game such as Spider-Man, where physically travelling across the city is a ton of fun, you wouldn't think that you'd have any reason to bother with using any kind of fast travel options. Swinging from building to building from Spidey's webs is a blast and a huge draw to the game. While you're on your way to an objective, you can run into non-scripted events that can distract you, or pass collectibles that you can pick up. However, for those who need a quick bathroom break or to check their phones for a few moments, Spider-Man has fast travel by way of the subway system. Spidey covers huge distances in just a few moments with varying humorous cutscenes showing him riding the tube, including getting funny looks from fellow commuters, chatting to other costumed citizens, casually scrolling through his phone. When the city becomes full of dangerous enemies midway through the story, Spidey has to resort to riding the tube stealthily as he clings casually to the outside. It's a fun little addition to take advantage of now and then when you're feeling lazy. Number 8. SILT Striders, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. When riding the subway is just a little too mainstream and riding a flying battle is a little too ridiculous, more on that shortly, Morrowind had a simple, elegant solution in the SILT Striders. Giant, tall, round, armoured fleas domesticated by the Dark Elves and utilised for transportation around Vardenfell. For a small fee, players can board the 20-metre tall docile creatures and travel to a destination of their choice. Why walk when you can ride? Granted, the experience is limited to a cut-to-black loading screen, largely due to the limitations of the game, but allow your imagination to fill in the gaps, and riding a giant flea is hilariously fun and much more interesting than just opening up a map and pointing to a location. Looking at you, Skyrim. Number 7. Funky's Flights, Donkey Kong Country. Because the only logical way for an ape and a monkey to travel around a giant mountain is by battle, and Donkey Kong Country features one of the most satisfying fast travel unlocks on this list. Save points, especially in the later areas of the game, are so few and far between that sometimes you'll have to complete 4 to 5 difficult levels in a row before being offered the opportunity to bank your progress. That's where good old Funky comes in. The coolest primate to ever grace the jungle, Funky Kong offers DK and Diddy the chance to jump into a barrel plane and instantly transport to anywhere they've already visited, which includes precious save points, essentially making the fast travel a handy bonus checkpoint, as well as a fun way of flying back to previous levels to scoop up some extra lives. Not to mention how damn catchy the flight music is. Do 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 do. Oh yeah! Number 6. The Stagway, Hollow Knight. In Hollow Knight, you're a very tiny beetle in a very big, dangerous world. Exploring and mapping as you go is a wonderful experience, pushing further and further each time and balancing risk and reward to suit the situation. Fast traveling makes sense. Even traveling through old areas that you know off by heart can result in a slip-up and potentially losing piles of experience. It is very limited, but never to the point of feeling unfair. Very rarely, if you explore enough, you'll come across the Stagway stations. Pay enough geo to activate the toll station and you'll unlock that tunnel for fast travel. The clinch here, and the most wonderful thing about Hollow Knight's Stagways, is the pure, adorable joy gained from ringing the bell to summon the giant stag beetle. Hearing the sounds of its feet pattering as it eagerly arrives to carry you to your destination, it's just plain adorable. Number 5. Griffins and Windriders, World of Warcraft. There's a reason the first M in MMO is massive. The many worlds featured in WoW, Azeroth, Outland, Northrend, to name a few, are absolutely enormous. Although the player can gain the ability to summon and ride their own mount at a high level, and whether across ground or in the air, the player has complete free reign on travelling across the lands at their own pace. But for a small fee, players can visit the Flightmaster in most towns and borrow one of their griffins, or Windriders if you are for the Horde, and well-trained creatures will take you directly to your destination, without the need to stay vigilant, worrying about your directions. The flight paths are not instant. In fact, most take a very long time before they dump you off safely. But being able to sit back, message friends to perhaps organise running some group content together, organise your horrendously messy inventory, familiarise yourself with your quest log, and take in the sights as you fly over both friendly and war-torn territories feels like fast travel done right. Failing that, you can always beg for a mage portal in the trade chat. Number 4. Cinematic Camera Horse Rides, Red Dead Redemption 2. A really wholesome addition to the cutthroat outlaw cowboy adventure that was Red Dead Redemption was the bond between a man and his noble steed. Whether you bought your horse fairly or stole it from an unfortunate passerby, you'll care for them, feed them, keep them clean and happy, and will start to develop a strong bond with them. There's a great satisfaction that comes from building up your horse's health and stamina through caring for them, almost like investing in a partner. With a strong, loyal horse, you can travel from place to place by simply holding down a button and letting your horse do all the hard work for you, taking in some breathtaking scenic visuals along the way. Sure, you can pay some money to purchase a train ticket or a stagecoach ride and instantly return to anywhere you've already been, but taking the time to ride there with your horse was a completely different experience. And it was free. Number 3. Tornadoes, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Link's adorable journey across the watery, flooded land of Hyrule features the ability to control the wind. While this is very helpful for ensuring that the wind is always in your sails as you travel from island to island in your tiny boat, the constant slow sailing does start to drag a bit in the late game. If you're lucky and you are prepared with your bow and arrows, you will happen upon one of several giant cyclones, actually called water spouts, with an angry frog-like creature riding a cloud in their centre. Shoot Cyclos with your bow and he will descend, having developed a sudden respect for someone able to down him. He'll teach you the Ballad of Gales, which allows you to skip on extended repetitive sailing time and teleport around the world using the cyclones. It's hilarious watching Link and the Red Lion spinning around and flying off, and it also saves you tons of time. Win-win. Number 2. FERRYSTONES, Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma is a fantasy RPG with an enormous map and plenty of reasons to want to travel great distances without having to deal with needless dangers along the way. However, instead of just opening your map and pointing at an area and instantly traveling there, again, sorry Skyrim, your character can teleport from place to place magically by using FERRYSTONES. FERRYSTONES can be found as treasure or bought from vendors and allow the player to teleport to any of their previously placed port crystals. Port crystals can also be scavenged or bought, and the player can place them in any location they like and then use the FERRYSTONE to travel there again instantly. FERRYSTONES are very precious, and they are consumed upon use, but port crystals can be picked up and moved around as required. It's a lovely little addition that cuts down on travel time without breaking immersion. Number 1. Blasting out of a cannon, Doom Eternal. The Doomslayer is famous for not giving a shit. It's hilarious. The guy just stomps through hell like he owns the place, liberates Mars, and leaves thousands of bloody demon corpses in his wake. It's part of the allure of Doom. Doomslayer is a one-dimensional character who is simply very angry all the time, and it just works. Continuing his usual casual badassery in the upcoming Doom Eternal, Doomslayer travels from planet to planet by way of big f***ing gun. Overriding the cannon's automatic controls and stopping it from loading a cannonball, Doomslayer kicks aside the ball and straps himself in instead. Fast traveling by cannon is simply the only logical way that the Doomslayer could have possibly gotten even more badass. And that's our list. Thank you so much for watching. Any other amusing fast travel methods, be sure to add them in the comments below. Once again, my name has been Rach. You can follow me on Twitter at Don'tRageQuit. Oh my goodness, your hair looks great today. Good job. See you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.